Right. Yeah. Yeah, because Greg, my dad put together a brake drum forge with forced air, not nearly as large as that, but and then it comes out burned like that.
Well, when it's all done, it's called clinker.
Right.
That's where everything's burnt out and there's nothing left. And actually, the in-between phase is called coke, and it's
It's like partially burned.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter, and all the impurities are burned out of it, and that's when it's burning really hot, the real hot coal that you see in there.
It's really cool.
So there's like kind of 3 stages.
How do you move these things around? If you just leave them down there?
Oh, just kind of drag them around. And
jeez, man.
We've got dollies and stuff. But yeah, those are
basically. I mean, they're used like that
on the
floor. I mean, you pick the edge or the side of it you want.
Pick the side you want, and you can do it. And actually, people have built stands. Neither one of us have built one yet, but they make stands so that they're elevated.
Yeah.
Up so you can move them around. Yeah. And you can put them on an anvil, I guess, too.
You need this cardboard box that's falling apart?
It's not going to burn out that well either. Might just drag a torch over. You might start with a lighter hammer. Okay. You could try it with this one. I'll go through it once.
We're going to need gloves, I assume.
No, actually,
really?
Steel's a poor conductor of heat. You're fine. If this was copper when you heat it up,
yeah,
you'd be burning it. I mean,
no kidding.
Get it hot, and I can hold it pretty close. And
no kidding.
Red hot, yeah. You know, when it gets real close, that's where the tongs, everything's got. Think about like clay and the way clay or Play-Doh or something moves. It moves very, very similar, except for instead of using 2 fingers or your hand and a table, you're using the hammer and the anvil. To manipulate the movement. I'm just gonna do like a hook, a basic hook. That's kind of when I'm teaching intro to blacksmithing or whatever. That's kind of the first thing you do, because it kind of covers a little bit of everything, tapering and strolling and twisting and punching.
Right.
The main thing, first thing you want to do is put a point, focus just right on the tip. You want to get a point on it, and then you'll start drawing back on it. And what you're doing is I'm working on this area right here, and I'm keeping the tip of it right about flush
even with the thing,
with the edge of the anvil, so that when I'm starting to hammer this down, the hammer face here can go below. If I was doing this out here in the middle, my hammer would be hitting the anvil before it was hitting the metal. So by doing it out here, I can draw that taper, and the hammer can actually go below the anvil. And what you want to do is work 2 sides. You can work all 4, but theoretically, by working 2 sides, your hammer and anvil, the anvil's working the bottom side. You can rotate it,
and you go twice as fast.
Back and forth. We've got the space for it, but we just don't have the equipment. So we're slowly getting money and funding, trying to maybe write some grants so that we can get some work in there. Once you get better at it, you'll be able to go back and forth
real fast.
But starting off, you'll probably have to do 1, 2, 3 blows, 1, 2, 3, 4 blows back and forth that way. And I can see there's a pretty good point on that. So then the next step. Got enough to get here. Heat up a little more. Next step will be to start drawing that out, drawing the taper out. The thing you got to watch now also is that the tip is going to heat up a lot quicker than
the
your main mass.
Thinner. Yeah.
So 2 options. One is
quench it.
Yeah, quench the tip. Occasionally, as you're heating it up, the other thing you can actually, there's this. I didn't really show you that. This pot here.
Yeah.
That cast iron pot. You can actually press the tip. Go all the way to the back, press the tip up against that cast iron pot.
And that takes
and that absorbs.
Yeah.
And then just start. You can draw it on the flat face. Some people to actually make it go faster, they draw that in the horn. Because it you've got that round face versus flat face. So
it draws it in two directions instead of just one.
Yeah, it's just stretching out a lot quicker. I usually like to just do it flat. It keeps it a little more refined and straight. And doesn't get out of whack. But
so you're basically just thinning out the whole rod now?
Yeah, just kind of drawing a taper out on it.
The tip cools faster too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Surface area to volume.
So it's put a nice gradual taper on it. And you want to start rounding it off, so you actually turn it up on the diamond.
Right, and then flatten the sides.
It'll be a hexagon or octagon.
And then
you start rolling.
Yeah.
All about that.
That is not what I would have predicted at all, man. But you know, it makes sense. That's why silver spoons, if you leave them in soup, man, they will burn your hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, copper and silver.
Yeah.
All those guys. They conduct heat. Tapered out the rest of the way. I just started kind of knocking those corners down.
Right, yeah, so it's flatter on the...
So I'll heat it back up and I can draw it out the rest of the way around. And you always work square, four-sided, and then do your rounding stuff at the end.
You're rounding it out now, right? Yeah.
And I've actually kind of started choking up on the hammer a little more too. You're out here when you're doing heavy forging, but then when you're starting to refine things, choke in on it a little. So it's lighter, faster blows. One of the first things you learn is don't touch anything.
Even if it doesn't look hot.
Exactly. It's inevitable. You tell people that, and they'll immediately walk up to the table and be like, "Ooh, look at that!" They still have that black heat.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Pretty good one. It's not perfect, but
wow.
Even round taper. It goes all the way down. So then the next thing
would be to curl it,
rolling it up.
Yeah.
And you start right heavy on the tip. Start knocking it down. Get started. You can pull it back toward yourself. And then you're constantly the whole time when you're doing this, your arms will be moving up and down.
Right.
You're adjusting here. That's where the main. That's where, most of the work's being done. It's
really
up here, and it's little small light blows, and a lot more of raising up and down to get that to bend where you want it to. I don't think I've bending out that way, and same thing.
Wow,
it's getting kind of out of whack. Fix all that stuff pretty easy. Get a weird kink up here in it. You can't really heat it like that, so you can hook it on the horn and just
I see.
Right out there. Then, next thing I usually show is a twist, decorative element.
Right.
Because you're going to have this hook, you're eventually going to have a hole here for hanging, but you've got all this just blank space. So, I usually go through and show a bunch of different twists and stuff, but we just do basic ones. I got just an old pipe wrench with a handle welded onto it.
Okay.
So it's all adjustable. And
right. Okay. Wow.
Where you want the twist to start, and then you grab it where you want it to end here. And then it's just like a rubber band, or you can just keep twisting it, as long as you want. Of course, you can actually use the jaws of the vise
to flatten it,
straighten things out. But you're not really hammering on it. So I'm going to go close to about an inch. We'll put a little spade shape on the top side with a hole. You want to watch it, you don't go all the way through with it too. You want to get close. Well,
that was real close here.
You want to get really close usually, and then grab it with the tongs and pry it the rest of the way off so you don't shoot it across the room.
That's awesome.
This is going to do a little short point like we started off the taper.
Okay.
But then from there, I'll draw it out into that kind of a spade shape.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Forward, working two sides.
You use a different, like a circular.
Rounding hammers.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So what I'm gonna do is set a shoulder now, so this is all will sit flush up against a wall. So kind of at about a 45 over here on a sharp part of the anvil. Go.
Yeah.
About like that. So what I'll do now is I can take all this mass
and flatten it out.
Flatten it out and stretch it out into that spade shape.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I'll have to heat it back up. Actually, what I'll do now is start using the cross-peen side.
Okay.
Just asking about different shaped hammers. The cross-peen is when you're hammering.
It separates only in two directions.
Yeah.
And then the other one goes in every direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yep. So they come in handy. Yeah. So you don't have to sit here and swing a hammer all day, especially when you start working bigger stuff. You just stick it under that, and that'll.
I'm holding stuff with
handles. But that's what I always see people. That's what I see people making Damascus with online.
Oh yeah,
is
the little giants.
That. Yeah.
One day I've got to save up about $8 or $9 grand, but to get it air powered, I mean they're precise down to the millimeter.
Yeah.
Nice big boys that it's all air run, and they're really nice. That's what I learned on and worked on until I bought this. And even when I bought this, I was still using the air hammers, Carbondale, the museum. So it was a little bit of a learning curve there, and kind of felt like I
went backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you get it too hot. It starts burning.
The tip does?
Yeah, it's that yellow heat. Start burning it up. I don't think it burned too bad. I could probably hammer that out. So now that I've set that shoulder, I start bringing it up and switch, and start using the cross beam and stretching the metal out. And get some heat in it again.
No, I can't see anything right now.
So it's starting to go. I want to heat it up. Keep going. It still can go quite a bit more.
Yeah.
Start stretching that out.
Cool.
And just by the different angles,
you
can adjust the way that it goes out. You can do a little curl on the end.
The thing with a hydraulic press, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be the same.
This is a long time ago to conserve on materials, by punching it instead of drilling, you're losing very little material. So get it close and then
Pop it right through.
we're going to strike that.
Sure. Just right on, just straight down?
Yep.
One more?
Yep. There we go. Just flew out somewhere. It should have been a little tiny. Yeah, that's it right there. It's hot right now.
No way.
Tiny little slug.
Sweet. Yeah.
Fairly flat. Pretty close. And let's just use this wire brush to kind of burnishes the surface. It's a little bit of sheen. Knock some of that loose scale off. And that's it. Probably should have got that in plastic. You don't have to worry about burning the bottoms or anything.
And it's cold enough now? Wow. Jeez.